Okay, so part two of that last video of me giving you all a well-rounded, thorough synopsis of my daily life. That's what I go through on a daily basis. No lying. For about almost, since 2021. The beginning was about, let's say, the end of February, March, right? To 2022, the beginning, but it started in 2020. So it's been about 5 years in isolation. Since 2020 was the start of COVID, and everybody was kind of like isolated inside, indoors. The whole world pretty much was shut down. This video is going to be a little bit more than 3 minutes. God wants me to explain to you all that we don't want you as judgmental as everybody is. It's like everybody's just looking for a reason to complain, that they say I'm complaining all over social media. It's just like the world is in a chaotic uproar of us just finding fault and critiquing everybody ridiculously. People have their own private lives, and everything is like now out in the open. Celebrities and everybody telling us their story about their life, and everybody's in everybody's bedroom, and there's no privacy. It's just like everything is just pouring out everywhere that you can't hide or do anything. I mean, like, that's the way life is. You're not supposed to want to hide, but I mean, like, when I say have some privacy, it's like everybody's watching, somebody's recording you. It's like everything is social media. So what I'm trying to get at is, we need to be aware that nothing that can ever have a true change can ever stay hidden. Meaning, whatever needs to change needs to be brought to light. And if God is highlighting with us chosen ones that have gone through a very harsh course in our lives as a testament of who we are, then if God is turning up the heat, so to speak, and those of us who are meek and mild are now able, with everybody now, to see the true spirit and nature of family members, of friends, of coworkers, of associates, of business partners, of anybody that you thought that really had your back. It's like what you didn't know about these individuals, close to you or not, blood related or not. It's a revealing that God has done deliberately, that when you are who you are and life is the way that it is now, so chaotic and all over the place, and it's a lot of rumors of war, and that has to do with revelations. These are the signs of the time that Yeshua of 2,000 years ago said, when you see these events happening, that is showing you that that is the beginning of the Most High, with Jesus, that's what it says in the Bible, coming back, that Jesus would be similar to the 144,000 divine messengers. That 144,000, as I say outside, isn't 100, isn't 500,000, isn't 1 million, and we have 8 billion souls on planet Earth. So that means God is very selective. If I'm the creator, I only want to roll with the best of my fruits, the best of my flock. Therefore, that shows a divine intelligence, just like if you're in business and you have to hire employees to help your business be ran, right? You're not going to interview people, right, that show up with no experience. And if they do have experience, when they get hired after being interviewed, going through a process to be selected amongst others that are also applying for the job to be employed, that whatever makes those individuals stand out is what's going to get them to land that particular job that they are applying for. Therefore, right? The same for the creator. It's not rocket science. If I know who you are, and at this particular time, shy of about 5 years now, 2020, since isolation with COVID, as I mentioned earlier, right? We've been in isolation, so the world is shifting. How can we be in heaven on earth as above, so below? As it is in heaven, so shall it be. So shall it be. But if we don't qualify to be heavenly residents, what makes us think that you're not going to leave if this planet is being upgraded and low vibrational souls, whether Anunnaki, Pleiadian, Syrian, Orion, You understand what I'm saying? There are different planets and star systems of different beings that are God's children omnipresently in creation, just to name a few, right? That are here. So when we think about Anunnaki, those are Riskians. Our planet Nibiru was a refuge for us, and we're not nomads. There was an internal war amongst us, and we are the superiors. So if there was internal family rivalry, that is the history of the first, that wasn't the first war. There were many creations according to God at different big periods of time that throughout time, right? Just like 2,000 years ago, we don't ride around on horses and live outside in tents and shit like that. We got cities with buildings and cars. So we evoluted. Technology advances. And so back then, we had technology, but it's a lot different now. So there was some sort of rivalry, and there was a laser beam, as Dr. Malachi Z. York stated, that was shot on our planet. And if our planet Risk is a tri-solar system, the ultraviolet rays are too powerful. So we had to leave our home because we had no ozone layer. That's a sheath of a protection on Earth and on all planets to protect the life from the ultra dangerous ultraviolet rays from the suns. And we had 3 suns on the planet Risk and surrounding our planet. So if we have no ozone layer, we had to leave, right, and evacuate. And Earth is very significant because Earth and the moon, right, we scouted a planet that's rich in gold so that it can repair the ozone layer by reflecting the light so it doesn't penetrate our planet. When we have people like Samuel B. Lee talking about fallen Anunnaki, I can tell you and explain, making logical sense as it made to me when God that talks to me, as I am Ninma. I'm Ninti, Mother Ninti. I'm Aset. I'm Mama. I'm the geneticist that I don't fully remember that life because I restarted. And to be fair to me, God allowed me to incarnate here as you all are my children. Gene Isis, Genesis. I'm a geneticist. I wouldn't remember that. So, of course, at first, it was fantastical to me. I am a master. I am a doctor. I am God, a sacred divine feminine. I am the woman king. I became the woman king because of family rivalry having to do with a patriarchy, where men were ruling, and then God, in order to keep the family together so that we don't have all of this ego going around, that Anu, Ilion El, the Most High, omnipresent, that is our supreme omnipresent oversoul and source and God over all life, over all creation, is not a little tiny person that I am. This is the macro, right? This is the micro to the macro, right? I'm the micro person, that every facet of source is in creation, made from dark energies that produces dark matter. And if you mix all of the colors of the rainbow together, you get black. The only thing that makes black not black is light. And I described as the Most High taught me that he didn't at one point in time, in just being a conscious babe, undeveloped, he got by mistake. He didn't know that he was made of gaseous energies, and that's the Big Bang. So God does talk to me. And therefore, Anunnaki, we do not want to be, if Anu is God, El, right? You have Mikael, Jibrael, right? Raduariel, you have Uriel. Those are the 24 elders that we are melanated black supreme beings. We're not the omnipresence. We're not the omniscience, and we're not omnipotent. That means almighty, right? All present. That means all knowledgeable. That means all powerful. We are little fashions, right, of children of that big magnificence, that huge magnetizing, right? Magnificence, that maximum, that big, huge, majestic, right? And it's ma. In order for you to realize God is also ambiguous and androgynously both sexes, you can produce children with two. And women, as was taught by Dr. York, utilized as a conduit of source energy and divine consciousness, raised, initiated, right, tested to be worthy, right, as chosen. We go through and grow through a process that God approves of us, supervising everything that he wants to accomplish with us by bringing us up to par. Therefore, we are taught, lean not unto thy own understanding. Now, if I do a lot more than you all know in the quantum realm, and this is a small planet with 8 billion people on it, I sustain, not inclusive of the animal kingdom, right? The aquatic kingdom, you understand? The dome, when you say dumb, it's not to denote anything disrespectful. It's the dome, your head, the top layer, right? The top portion of you, meaning where your mind is, that governs with the brain everything that we do. So God is so magnificently sublime, powerful, that we can't fathom the intellect in him governing with a supreme, indescribable mind. That God wants us to stop this, projection of pointing fingers and not having the right information that's desecrating your ancestors. If we are the melanated black gods, best suited, if I have dark energies, the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Meaning, the more potent in energy, in matter, that I'm going to align. If this is all synchronized, and it is during this time, synchronicities mean alignment, right? Upright, alignment, straight up and down, not horizontal. That's also alignment, but we mean with our etheric cord that taps into the oversoul, the most high in direction above us, higher than us, superior to us. The oversoul, source, most intelligent. You get what I'm saying? Therefore, God chooses only worthy souls already chosen before we knew. And we are the test. because we're getting a lot of backlash from our other brothers and sisters that feel some type of way about wanting to be chosen. That's good. But if you're not particularly selected at a supreme choice for various reasons, that we had a call from up there, that we agreed on a soul contract agreement when we were, especially me, I had to come because I'm very responsible, more than I remembered. We get amnesia to fit in down here, and at this time, shy of 5 years ago, God, our supreme parent, is responsible the most, more than anybody else, right? Only responsible for us, the omnipresence, our supreme parent, right? To wake us up to remember who we are. I wouldn't have known. So I'm God's child like everybody, but I'm a highly chosen, significant reincarnation, deliberately, divinely here for supreme, divine, sacred purposes. So anybody desecrating, as we have asked, please, if you don't know and you're using AI for information that desecrates your ancestors, the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice, meaning the darker the skin, the richer the soul. If you tie it into DNA, you all are our children. I'm mixed, but it doesn't dilute my soul. That's why every time you talk about DNA and blood, you don't understand our sciences. Our sciences have to deal with only factual data. And the etymological meaning of science is to know, to K-N-O-W, to have knowledge. So that means it has to be proven, not a belief system, not half-truths. So I would appreciate, again, I'm asking, that you do not desecrate all Anunnaki as fallen. The ones who have fallen, as you depicted on your videos, are those who, more than what you know, violated law. That's why they stay in rotation, trying to live off of humans, the descendants that are a baby race of the supreme beings called Anunnaki, Elohim, right? El Elo, like I said, El means God. Mikael, who dares to be like El? El means God. Elohim means these gods, plural. Anunnaki means children of Anu, children of God. Those would be your supreme angelic beings, the highest, blacks. Now we do have a mixed family because we're not limited in our species, but we look human. And humans are our children from mommy, papa, mama. I'm ambiguous in my vessel, in my body, in my khat, with my ka, spirit, and my ba, soul. Ba, two souls. Father, also mother. We cannot have children without a female. So a female is God's evolution. Because at one point in time, right, God was able to mass produce without utilizing what his evolution and seeing a need to improve, right, to evolve. That's where women came in, a different design. And when you see there's a need for something in you being a male, then females came into creation to be upgraded, right, to take on being submissive, right, humble, right, catering, right, nurturing, right, assigned by God to carry children. So we are your supreme beings, that have been desecrated, that have been misused, abused. You understand? And it's more than that. If women, right, are not treated and nurtured properly by the leaders, right, a divine, sacred, masculine, then the family dynamic is out of order. We are as good as our female species is, because the women spend the most time with the boys and girls. So if the women are left with no male counterpart, also partially responsible for the children or the child of the children that were conceived, that's why we are out of order. So beings like me come here to remind you all, as God contacts me and fills in all the blanks pertaining to the hierarchy of Earth. Earth is significant because Earth helped Riskians to have our planet restored. So we move in secret, and that helps with the testing that God allows a grace and mercy for the fallen. Human beings and this planet is filled with other species that God still keeps in a rotation in creation, that you get a chance to atone for wrong done. Now, this is judgment. So those who tampered with our children, we are here to let you know, if you're messing with AI and stuff like that, you know, it's also a test of deciphering information, because only the truth makes you free. Now, it can set you free with an experience like me. I'm asset to God and me, a supreme being with a supreme being, a geneticist. I'm helping you to integrate darkness because the venom is the cure. Like in getting a vaccination of a disease to help the body build up antibodies, that if that particular disease comes around, the body has already practiced fighting it off so we don't get killed or die from it, to preserve life. Anunnaki don't have a bad rep. The ones who were egotistical and arrogant and disobedient, our supreme parent only wants those in heaven that qualify as loving, beautiful souls and individuals of a high mentality and caliber to qualify to stay in a rewarded place that everybody on earth wants to die and one day go to. So now is the time to atone, so you don't have to pass away. And those who already are meant to pass away, you have a zero time reference, meaning whatever you don't remember about you in your previous life or lives, you are still atoning for it. Allotted 120 years, and we, those who it applies to, not me, are repetitive karmic criminals that don't listen or adhere to or abide to God's law. And the law is, do unto others as you would want them to do unto you. And if you don't want nobody to hurt you, you don't want anybody to disrespect you, you don't want anybody to do anything cruel to you, you don't want anybody to rob you, you don't want anybody to do anything harmful to you, then that's it. That's why we are so mentally diseased. And I'm not begging for people to feel pity for me. You all are projecting that I need your sympathy, and I'm not sure about who I am. I talk with God, giving a lot of information, more so than any other chosen one, in specific details to prove to you all ignorant, projecting that there's no God because he's not talking to you because it's only 144,000 of us amongst 8 billion on this planet. That's top-notch chosen. And we know who we are because of the consistency of our videos, only praising God through our ordeal of suffering. And my talk with everybody outside that are recording me is that New York is overpopulated. If they know I'm chosen because I talk out loud on the platforms in the crowded train stations, I wasn't making videos. I just started doing that after 2 years of teaching outside in New York City in crowded rush hour on the platforms and everywhere I go in the street, making a boastful noise as a divine angelic messenger persecuted for righteousness' sake. You all don't want to hear about God. I don't need your pity. I'm pissed off because I sacrificed so much alone, and you all are not receiving God's divine warnings. It's judgment. You all have to be motherfucking respectfully to you, Most High. Crazy. They're crazy. That if I went through so much and God tells me, Ebony, you're a good person, how? I know I'm good, but goddamn. In other words, you're a good person. Imagine what I'm going to do to those who aren't. I love you, Most High. I don't know if this is going to reach as many people as you can allow it to reach. This is a thorough video. I don't like making long videos because people's attention span and their dismissiveness is to their own demise. Peace and blessings and divine love to you all. Please stop giving false information that is too generalized, that desecrates your ancestors. Samuel B. Lee. We know it's about love, but you have a mixed multitude of videos of a solar contract indicating in one video it's not about love, it's about atonement. And if some of us are karmic law violators that did wrong, you have to pay that debt. That's why what goes around comes around. And you, for one, have gone through a very harsh internal transformation that God within you kind of made me go through, that I resonated with and I could relate to it, that you were having a lot of mental problems, psychiatric problems, bipolarism and all that. And God helped you through it. And if you don't listen, you're going to cause yourself to undergo suffering because you're not supposed to depend on AI. If the source is within you, AI is for clout chasing, for you to have a following. Just stop. You're giving unreliable information and it's not credible. And you are, doing yourself a disservice in teaching God's children, qualified to do so. But God is testing your ability to follow what you teach. Not from AI. You write down your thoughts. And I don't write down shit. God just tells me, go online, Ebony, do these videos, post this, post that. I watch my videos before I post it to make sure it's good. And if it's not, I delete it. And I ask permission. So I'm very respectful and obedient to God. I don't do anything without God's permission. And if I want to do something, I have to ask in consideration of my superior, my oversoul, my supreme parent activated fully within me. Don't worry, Ebony. I'm not Most High. I pray for his soul. And all the souls that don't listen obediently to God, just using your mind right and discerning what's best for you and God in consideration that he's within us all.